When a woman misses you, it's not always in the words she says. In fact, most of the time, she won't come right out and tell you because her pride, her emotions, or simply her desire to test the strength of the bond makes her hold back. But what she feels in her heart has a way of slipping through her actions, and those actions speak louder than anything she could ever put into words. It's in the little signals, the subtle movements, the habits that suddenly change when you're not around, and the way her presence seems to reach for you even when she's not physically near. Think about this. When someone truly doesn't care about you, they don't notice your absence. They move on with their life. They stay focused on their own world, and whether you're in the room or not doesn't make a difference to them. But when a woman truly misses you, her mind drifts back to you no matter what she's doing. She'll be scrolling through her phone, and suddenly she's looking at that picture you sent weeks ago. She'll be on social media, and without thinking, she finds herself checking your profile, seeing what you're up to, almost like she's searching for a way to close the distance without having to say it out loud. You may notice she starts liking your old posts, ones you uploaded months ago. Now, why would she go back that far unless she was digging through your memories, reliving the moments that remind her of how she felt with you? It's a signal, small but powerful, that she's emotionally tuned in. She can't stop herself from wanting to reconnect with the pieces of you she can find, even if it's just through a screen. And then there's the way she checks in on your stories or updates. She may not directly send you a message, but she watches. She's keeping track. That's not by accident. When a woman misses you, she seeks out your presence in any form she can find. She might not pick up the phone and say, I miss you, but she'll silently make sure she's in touch with your world, making sure she hasn't lost that thread that ties her to you. Sometimes it goes beyond online signals. You might notice her appearing in places where she knows you'll be. Maybe it's at a gathering, maybe it's at the coffee shop you frequent, maybe it's at an event that she wouldn't usually care about. She finds reasons to be there, reasons to cross paths, and she'll try to make it seem natural, casual, like it just happened that way, but deep down, it's not coincidence. It's her way of reaching out without having to admit the depth of what she feels. Her energy gives her away. You can sense it in the way she reacts when your name comes up. You can see it in her body language, how she leans in when you're around, how her eyes soften when she hears your voice, how a certain spark lights up when you enter the room. These are not things you can fake. These are signs written by the heart, too strong to be hidden. And you'll notice the timing. Missing someone makes you sensitive to the rhythms. She might suddenly text you at odd hours with a message that seems simple on the surface, like, hey, just thought of you, or do you still remember that place we went? But underneath, it's her longing speaking. It's her way of saying, I miss you without actually saying it. Because sometimes saying those three words feels too vulnerable. So she hides them in casual conversation, hoping you'll read between the lines. What's powerful about this is that it shows you something about human connection. When emotions are genuine, they can't be suppressed forever. A woman who misses you is going to leave clues, intentionally or not. It's in the way she remembers details about you, your favorite food, your habits, even the little quirks that most people overlook. She'll bring them up, sometimes randomly, because they live in her mind. Those details resurface because you've left an imprint, and that imprint is tied to longing. There are also moments when she might act the opposite, pulling back, acting distant, trying to appear as though she doesn't care. But even that distance is a sign, because if she truly didn't miss you, she wouldn't feel the need to create barriers. That tension, that push and pull, comes from the fact that she feels your absence, and she's wrestling with how to handle it. Her voice will give her away too. Maybe she calls you just to ask about something simple, but you'll hear it. Her tone softens, there's warmth in her words, a subtle excitement in her laugh. You'll feel the unspoken longing woven into her sentences. And even if she tries to cut the call short or make it seem purely practical, that undercurrent is there. Because when a woman misses you, her emotions leak out in ways she can't completely control. The truth is, missing someone creates energy. It pushes a person to act, to reach out, to reconnect in whatever way they can. So when a woman misses you, her subtle signals aren't really that subtle if you know how to read them. She may never say the words out loud, but her actions, her timing, her presence, her habits, they all form a pattern that points back to one thing. She feels your absence and she wants to feel your presence again. And once you understand this, you realize something important. It's not about chasing words, it's about reading the reality of her behavior. Because love, longing, and connection don't always shout. Sometimes they whisper, and those whispers, if you pay attention, are far more powerful than anything she could say directly. That's why when a woman misses you, she really can't hide it. When a woman misses you, she rarely comes out and says it directly. Most of the time, her heart pushes her to reach out in ways that don't sound like confessions, but feel like gentle invitations. Instead of saying, I miss you, she'll create reasons to connect. These reasons may appear casual, even random, but beneath the surface, they are fueled by the longing she carries inside. It's her way of bridging the gap between you without risking too much vulnerability all at once. She might text you about something that doesn't really require an answer. Do you remember the name of that restaurant we went to? Or what was that movie you mentioned a while back? On the surface, these questions seem simple, even forgettable, but think about it. She could have Googled the answer. She could have asked someone else. But she chose to reach out to you. Why? Because the real purpose isn't the answer, it's the connection. It's the chance to open a doorway, however small, to feel your presence again. And sometimes it's not even questions. It's comments, little statements designed to spark conversation. I saw something today that reminded me of you, or guess who I ran into, or even a playful meme that she sends your way. None of these messages are random. They are carefully chosen ways of saying, I thought about you and I wanted to share this moment with you. When a woman misses you, she seeks those openings because missing someone creates an ache that can only be softened by reconnecting, even if just through words on a screen. It's not just digital signals either. In person, she may find excuses to place herself in your path. Maybe she asks for help with something she could easily handle herself, like fixing a minor issue, carrying something heavy, or giving advice on a decision. She'll reach out not because she can't manage, but because it gives her a reason to invite you into her world. And every little interaction, no matter how small, is another way of closing that distance she feels when you're not around. Sometimes she won't even ask for help or share stories. She'll just reach out for the sake of hearing from you. A simple, hey, what are you up to, carries more meaning than the word suggests. To most people, it looks like casual conversation. But if you've ever felt the weight of missing someone, you know it's not casual at all. It's her way of saying, you're on my mind and I want to know if I'm still on yours. And what makes this so powerful is that she often tries to disguise it. She'll play it off as if she just happened to think of you in the moment, as if the message or the call was spontaneous. But deep down, it's not spontaneous, it's intentional. She thought about reaching out, hesitated, questioned whether she should, and then finally let her heart overrule her pride. That hesitation is proof of how much you mean to her. If she didn't miss you, she wouldn't wrestle with herself before pressing send. Her desire to connect also shows in her consistency. When a woman misses you, it's not just one message or one call. It becomes a pattern, little touches of communication spread out over days or weeks. You'll notice she pops up regularly, maybe not every day, but often enough that you feel her presence. She doesn't want to seem needy, but she also doesn't want to fade from your mind. So she balances it out, giving just enough to remind you she's there, while holding back enough to protect her pride. Even silence can be her way of creating connection. You might notice she lingers in your messages, takes her time replying, or stays in the conversation longer than necessary. She stretches the interaction because she doesn't want it to end. And sometimes she'll circle back to the same topic just to keep the dialogue alive because being in that space with you, even through a phone screen, feels like a small victory over the ache of missing you. What's truly fascinating is how she often disguises her longing in playfulness. She may tease you, joke with you, or send lighthearted messages. But beneath the humor lies a deeper truth. She's using laughter and fun as a way to mask her vulnerability. Playfulness becomes her armor, a way of reaching for connection without risking the rawness of simply admitting, I miss you. If you pay attention, you'll see that behind every playful message, there's a heart that just wants closeness. When you do see her in person, the same pattern shows. She may initiate conversations about the past, bringing up moments you shared, asking, do you remember when we went there? Or I was just thinking about that time we laughed so hard. These aren't just memories, they're her way of reliving the connection she craves. By revisiting the past, she's reminding both herself and you of the bond that once felt so alive. And in doing so, she's expressing the depth of her longing without ever needing to put it into direct words. It's important to recognize that when a woman creates reasons to connect, she's not being manipulative or insincere. She's being human. Missing someone is vulnerable, and vulnerability is never easy. So instead of risking rejection with an outright confession, she uses smaller, safer steps to bridge the gap. Each message, each call, each small excuse is her way of saying, I care, I think of you, I miss you, in a language that feels less risky. And if you've ever been on the other side of missing someone, you know how natural this is. You know what it's like to invent reasons, to reach out, to search for excuses, just to hear their voice or see their face. That's why when she does it, it's not random. It's meaningful. It's her heart showing up, even if her words don't say it directly. So when you notice her reaching out in these little ways, understand that it's not about the questions she asked or the stories she shared. It's about the deeper truth beneath those gestures. She misses you, and she can't help but create reasons to stay connected. That longing won't let her stay silent for too long, because silence makes the distance heavier. Her actions, however subtle, are her way of saying what her pride might not let her put into words. That's why when a woman misses you, she'll always find reasons to connect. When a woman misses you, she might think she can control her feelings, but emotions have a way of showing themselves without permission. She may try to act like everything is normal, like her life is moving forward without you, but the truth leaks out through her expressions, her tone, her laughter, her silence, and the energy she carries around you. When someone is deeply missed, it creates a shift in their emotional world, and no matter how hard she tries to hide it, those emotions surface. You'll notice it in her voice first. When she speaks to you, there's a softness there, a warmth she doesn't use with others. It's not something she plans, it just happens. Her voice lingers, her words stretch out, and sometimes she laughs at things that aren't even that funny. That's not because of the joke. It's because of the joy she feels simply in the act of talking to you again. Missing someone makes every little moment of connection feel bigger, more valuable, more alive. And so she can't help but let her emotions seep into the conversation. Her eyes tell even more than her words. Eyes are like windows, and when she misses you, they reveal what her lips may never say. They light up when they meet yours, almost like a reflex she can't stop. She may look at you longer than usual, as if memorizing your face again, as if making sure the memory she's been holding on to matches the reality in front of her. If she tries to hide it, she might even avoid your eyes altogether, because holding your gaze would expose too much of the truth. Either way, whether she stares or avoids, her eyes betray the fact that she feels more than she wants to admit. Then there's her smile. A woman who misses you doesn't smile at you the same way she smiles at everyone else. There's a tenderness in it, a sense of relief, as though part of her has been waiting just to see you again. Even if she's been holding back, even if she's been acting strong, that smile will slip out the moment she feels your presence. And the thing about a genuine smile is that it can't be rehearsed, it comes from the heart. When a woman misses you, her heart takes over in moments like that, and no amount of control can cover it up. Her body language is another truth teller. Maybe she leans closer when she talks to you, or her arms, once crossed, suddenly relax. She might touch her hair more often, adjust her clothes, or play with small objects near her, all subconscious ways of showing that your presence stirs her emotions. Even the way she positions herself can speak volumes. She may angle her body toward you without realizing it, as if she's being pulled closer by an invisible thread. And if she tries to act distant, that's also a signal because distance takes effort. It's her attempt to mask feelings she knows are still strong. When she misses you, her emotions also surface in the little things she remembers. She might bring up something you said weeks or months ago, a detail most people would have forgotten. She might recall your habits, your favorite things, or even small quirks that no one else notices. Why does she remember? Because missing you has kept those memories alive in her mind. They replay when she thinks about you, and when she finally speaks to you again, they slip out without her even realizing it. That's emotions speaking louder than logic. Her emotions can also show through the way she struggles to balance between closeness and control. One moment she might be warm, laughing, deeply engaged, and the next moment she might pull back, acting reserved, even distant. That swing is not confusion, it's conflict. Her heart wants to close the distance, but her mind fears revealing too much. She doesn't want to seem vulnerable, so she tries to hold back. But the very fact that she has to hold back proves that the feelings are there, alive and strong. Even in silence, you can feel it. There are pauses in the conversation, spaces where words aren't spoken, but the emotions are heavy in the air. She may not say much, but the way she looks at you during those silences, the way her breathing shifts, the way her energy lingers, it all speaks of longing. Sometimes silence says more than words ever could. And emotions don't just surface when she's around you, they spill into her life when you're not there too. Her friends may notice her distraction, the way she talks about you more often, the way she smiles when your name comes up. She may scroll through old pictures, replay your conversations, or listen to songs that remind her of you. These are all signs of emotions breaking through, things she can't suppress no matter how hard she tries. When she does see you after a time apart, the emotions rise even stronger. You'll see relief in her face. You'll feel it in the way she lingers in conversation, how she doesn't rush to leave, how she finds ways to stretch out the moment. Every second in your presence feels like healing for the distance she's been carrying. That's why her emotions seem brighter, deeper, harder to control, because she's finally experiencing the things she's been craving. Even if she tries to cover it up with indifference, even if she acts cool or unemotional, there's always something small that gives her away. A slip of the voice, a flicker in her expression, a softness in her eyes, those are the cracks in the mask where the truth leaks out. She can't fully hide it because longing is too powerful to be disguised forever. This is the beauty of genuine connection. Emotions will always find a way out. You don't have to force them, you don't have to demand them. If she truly misses you, her heart will show it. Whether she likes it or not, it will come out in her gestures, her expressions, her presence, and her energy. You just have to pay attention because the truth is always there for those who are willing to see it. That's why when a woman misses you, her emotions surface without control. When a woman misses you deeply, one of the most undeniable signs is the effort she makes to be present in your life. It might not be grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but it shows up in the way she invests her time, her attention, and her energy toward you. When you mean something to her and your absence is felt, she finds ways to close that distance, not always in words, but in consistent actions that quietly say, "You matter to me." You'll notice she begins showing up in ways that don't require her to. She remembers small details you shared, like that project you mentioned weeks ago or the challenge you were facing, and she checks in to ask about it. She might reach out just to see how your day went, or she'll follow up on something you thought she forgot. That effort is intentional. It's not random curiosity, it's her heart's way of proving that even when you're apart, she's still connected to you. She's thinking of you, and she wants you to feel it. Sometimes her effort looks like physical presence. She may rearrange her schedule just to see you, even if only for a short time. She might show up at events you're attending, or she makes sure to be available when you suggest meeting. That doesn't happen by accident. When a woman misses you, she values every opportunity to be around you, and she'll make sacrifices quietly just to create those moments. Even when she plays it off as coincidence, the truth is she chose to be there because being near you matters more than her comfort or convenience. Her presence is also shown through support. If you're chasing a goal, she'll encourage you. If you're struggling, she'll offer comfort. She may not always have the perfect words, but she'll make sure you don't feel alone. And that's the thing about missing someone, it drives you to bridge the gap in any way possible. For her, effort is how she eases the ache of absence. By showing up in your world, she lessens the weight of distance she feels inside. And what makes this effort so telling is that it doesn't come from obligation. Nobody forces her to care. Nobody asks her to make time, to remember, to reach out, to support. She chooses it. She chooses to be present because missing you compels her to act. That's how you know it's genuine. People can fake words for a while, but sustained effort, the little ways she keeps showing up again and again, that comes only from a place of true feeling. Sometimes effort shows in subtle ways that don't seem like much at first glance. She might send you a song she thinks you'll like or share something that reminded her of you. She might cook something you once said you enjoyed or surprise you with a small gesture that proves she's been paying attention. These are not random acts. They are quiet expressions of care, ways of saying, "I listen to you, I value you, and I want you to feel it." That's the language of presence when words are too heavy to say directly. Even her availability speaks volumes. A woman who misses you finds ways to make space for you. She answers your calls quickly, she responds to your messages with genuine interest, and she stays in the conversation longer than necessary. If you suggest meetings, she doesn't hesitate. She'll adjust her plans, she'll shift things around because spending time with you becomes a priority, not an option. And again, it's not because she has nothing else to do, it's because her longing for you makes you more important than the distractions of everything else. You may notice that she celebrates your wins, no matter how small. When she misses you, her investment in your happiness becomes more visible. She'll light up when you succeed, she'll encourage you when you doubt yourself, and she'll remind you of your worth when you forget it. That's effort too. Emotional presence is just as powerful as physical presence. and a woman who misses you can't help but pour herself into both. There's also a deeper layer to her effort: patience. Missing someone can make you restless, but instead of rushing or pressuring, she's willing to move at your pace. She respects your time, but she doesn't disappear. She finds the balance between giving space and still being near enough that you feel her presence. That's not easy to do. It takes awareness, restraint, and genuine care. When a woman misses you, she learns how to wait without walking away and how to stay close without suffocating you. Sometimes her effort may come through vulnerability. She might open up more about her feelings, her struggles, or her dreams. She lets you see parts of herself she normally keeps guarded because being present with you matters more than protecting herself. That kind of openness is not casual. It's her way of saying, I trust you with my heart because missing you has shown me how much I value this connection. And even if she doesn't speak directly about missing you, her actions will leave no doubt. She keeps you woven into her life. She introduces you to the things that matter to her, includes you in her experiences, and makes sure you never feel like an outsider. She doesn't just show up for the fun parts, she shows up in the ordinary, the boring, the challenging moments too. That's how you know her presence is real. What's important to understand is that effort is love in motion. Words are easy, but consistent actions, intentional presence, and steady availability come only from the depth of someone's heart. When a woman misses you, that longing compels her to make an effort that even she might not fully understand. She just knows she can't sit back and do nothing. She has to show up in some way, big or small, because her heart won't let her stay distant. And this is where the truth becomes undeniable. A woman who doesn't miss you won't go out of her way. She won't adjust her schedule, remember your details, or check in on your well being. But a woman who truly does, she'll keep finding ways to show up. She'll keep proving through her presence that you matter. She might not always say it directly, but her actions write the message loud and see.